Origin Gens, welcome to GX, and this is 10 brand new games from Game Awards. What? Game Awards just happened. Usually I'm aware of the Game Awards. This time somehow I missed it. I think there was this teaser thing, like there was a weird like rune type thing with the like vines coming out of it type of thing. That was like a like circling social media. What is this? What game is this? I don't know what that's going to be about. Obviously, we'll see this from Gamer Ranks video. Decent channel for games. I can't really react to like whole 3 hours of like, yeah. If I see it live, yeah. And I knew like there's probably not going to be games that I'm going to be excited for. Maybe. But there are surprises. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure like nothing from Elder Scrolls or something like Fallout 3 Remaster probably was announced. Something like that. I don't know. Or anything. Which other studios like, yeah, but Larian, I think Larian was supposed to working on a game. Did they announce a game? I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see if I get excited for any of these games. I'm a big gamer guy. If you don't know, I'm 31 years old. Most of those time I played major games. So yeah, let's just see which games are there.
The Game Awards. The magical time of year where Jeff Keighley puts on the gamer dad energy and herds us into a digital coliseum of trailers, ads that are pretending not to be ads, and the occasional award. But let's be honest, you are not here for the Best Ongoing Game award. We're here for the big reveals. Hi folks, it's Falcon. Grab your Doritos, mute the orchestra. It's time for 10 brand new video game announcements from the Video Game Awards. Starting off with number 10, it's No Law. Basically, it's a secret society cyberpunk FPS from Neon Giant, the folks behind The Ascent, who are now backed by publisher Krafton. It's not a glossy trailer with zero substance either. It's pretty beefy in terms of showing us what this is. You see Port Desire, the open city that's built for the game. You play as Gray Harker, an ex-military badass with a messy past. Kind of a cyber noir narrative that looks as much RPG as it is shooter. Obviously, we've all played Cyberpunk at this point. We don't have a release date yet, but we do know it's coming for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC.
I don't like that. I don't like that there's no release date thing. This is a new thing, like people announce game and like, yeah, it's 5 years from now. Like, oh God, what am I supposed to do with that? I'm not going to remember this shit for 5 years. I liked when Bethesda Game Studio used to like, oh, in July, oh, here's a game that's going to be out in November, in 3-4 months. There you go. I like that shit. I don't like all this. Even BGS is like, oh, Elder Scrolls going to be out. They showed that in 2018, right? Yeah, it was in 2018 doing Fallout 76 thing. It's going to be 10 years since the trailer, probably 2028, when game comes out. Like, damn, really?
At some point. Hey, before we go any further, gonna give you a quick ask to give us a subscribe. More of you that are watching are not subscribed than are, so obvious reason to do so. It helps us a whole lot, and we hope it helps you find some stuff you like. So thanks a ton for clicking subscribe. Let's get on with the video. Moving on to number 9, it's Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, a big budget reimagining of the original Tomb Raider game from 1996. This is a full-ass remake, not a remaster, and it looks freaking huge. What's kind of...
Hold up there. What do you mean remake? The terms are changing. Remake used to be the word like how Oblivion remake was. Everything is same, but the engine and graphics and mechanics are changed. Basically, like story, dialogues, everything is the same, but graphic and graphical engine changes. That's a remake. Remaster is everything same, but like something like ENB level thing. Something is sprinkled on top of it. But now with the Call of Duty, remake is something like even the story changes. Like, what is a remake? Obviously, this looks good, but not as good as like usually what Tomb Raider looks like. And I'm like, what the hell? This is the new Tomb Raider? No, it's a remake of the original.
Crazy is at this point, when I see this game, I think, wow, that looks like Uncharted. And Uncharted looks like Tomb Raider. It just goes back and forth, these two franchises at this point. Honestly, it looks like everything I could want out of a remake of Tomb Raider. There is actually another new Tomb Raider game coming out as well, Tomb Raider Catalyst, although we have no idea what that is. I guess it's an announcement. I just wanted to roll it into this. They did show some gameplay
That's the new
from
one.
that, but it's not really... I mean, the thing that really, I think, got everybody excited is the Legacy of Atlantis. It looks awesome. It's coming in 2026 to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC.
That
and
looks
Tomb
good.
Raider Catalyst is coming in 2027. Moving on to
It's
number...
probably on Unreal Engine 5. That's the thing about Unreal Engine 5. Something looks like mediocre, but something like lighting and something. Oh, that's so good.
8, it's Control Resonant. So they're calling this a sequel, but I'm almost calling it like something different. So the thing we're looking at doesn't look to me as though it's Jesse Faden working within the oldest house to contain the resonance. It's Dylan Faden, Jesse's brother, kind of the villain, not really the villain, allied with the villain. If there is a villain, the resonance is kind of a sound that's an alien, that's an infection. Control's weird. Control Resonant looks 10 times as weird because there's an altered world event happening outside of the oldest house in Manhattan that doesn't look to just involve the resonance. I don't actually know if I would consider this a sequel. It may be the next piece of information in the Remedy connected universe, and it may be a Control game, but I'm not fully sure what to make of this other than like it's like almost an action RPG looking thing, but
Yeah, I
also
was about to say that massive ass hammer that he pulled out, the way they're fighting. How is this Control? I remember playing Control. I don't know.
kind of like Prototype, and I
Yeah.
think you might be trying to spread the resonance, making you a bad guy. I don't know exactly what's going on here. PS5, Xbox Series, and PC is where it's landing, and it's landing next year. You can bet your ass I'm playing it. And number 7 is High Guard, coming to us from Wild Light Entertainment, which has people who worked on Apex Legends and
Oh, all right.
Titanfall. They've really tossed a crazy looking shooter our way. It looks very fast paced, lots of crazy powers, lots of crazy weapons, melee, long range. You
I
play
don't know why they're obsessed with horses. Oh, look at the horses and guns. How about proper BMW or something like KTM adventure bike? Something like that. High end. Really high tech adventure or dirt bike even. I think that would be more fun if you can do it right. Not some basic like, oh, it's a bike so it's move with proper mechanics and everything.
as what they're calling wardens, these arcane gunslingers sent to battle for control of a mythical content, as the marketing materials say. I mean, we know these guys know what they're doing in terms of this type of game, so I'm excited to see exactly where this goes.
This is an online
This one's
thing,
launching
right?
for free on Steam, Xbox Series, and PS5, January 26th. And number 6 is 4Loop, a Sony Interactive / Bad Robot Games, yes, the J.J. Abrams linked studio. They have finally pulled back the curtain on 4Loop, a 4-player tactical sci-fi co-op shooter that feels like Left 4 Dead if it was in space. Unlike your typical cookie-cutter co-op shooter, 4Loop leans really hard on the idea that you and your squad are doomed repeatedly, and that's the point.
Okay, I don't have any problem with co-ops because Dead Island, the original one, was co-op, and you can play single player just fine. It was like it was the Techland game. Everything after that is just like amplifying from there.
Earth has fallen to a brutal alien invasion, and you're thrust into a looping battle to save it. Every death resets you back into the fight, but you keep learning, evolving, and improvising with your team's unique builds to try to push further every time. It's a respawn-centric roguelite meets tactical shooter.
What is that movie, Tom Cruise movie, Tomorrowland or something, where he just keep dying like Groundhog Day level shit?
It's interesting. The trailer shows bizarre alien biomes and some pretty interesting oddball boss enemies. It's like a Rubik's Cube looking organic thing that you fight. It's crazy. I think it's really interesting because they're describing the gameplay as failing forward, and I like that. I can't lie. I think that's very intriguing. 4Loop is confirmed for PS5 and PC. We do not have a date for it. And number 5 is The Free Shepherd, a cute and unexpectedly poetic game. You're not doing anything too crazy here. You're finding lost sheep. You're a loyal and energetic border collie, a devoted sheepdog, tasked with rounding up the flock, guiding the safety across a
Great if you are under certain level of things, certain chemical influences. Great game for that.
sweeping, mysterious landscape. Cozy, to say the least. Visually, the trailer sells the Free Shepherd as both charming and evocative, a bunch of wide open spaces, some peaceful moments, and a
Ooh, look at
mysterious
that, looks
calamity
nice.
disrupting the peace. It's an interesting looking game. This one's coming to PS5 and PC in 2027, so it's a ways off. But hey, Journey with the Dog. I'll take it.
Like, am I the only one who remembers where PC used to be that word? PC gamers, like very niche people, like Redditors or something. Now PC gets respect. I was always a PC guy, and I'm like, why the fuck can't we get certain PlayStation games, certain Microsoft Xbox games? I'm pretty sure, yeah, certain exclusives, and now all exclusives are coming to PC. All games are launching on PC. Probably GTA 6 gonna launch on PC at the same day. That never happened in the past. I bet that's gonna happen. They're not gonna wait a year. That usually what's happened.
And number 4, a new Divinity from Larian Studios. Been a lot of hype and speculation
What?
around it. We got a full-on reveal. And of course, as of now, we have a game that is simply titled Divinity. Don't know if it's Divinity Original Sin 3. The studio previously said there's no plans for a direct Original Sin sequel, but this looks bigger and broader than that. It's apparently bigger in
this
scope
cinematic?
than Baldur's Gate 3, which is fully crazy. Basically Divinity-style role-playing stuff with the much more ambitious world-building.
As far as I know, when it comes to Larian, their all game are inherently same mechanically. So if you play Baldur's Gate 3, that's how usually other games are as well. And I fucking love Baldur's Gate 3. I don't like that, like click on the area so it walks and like turn-based shooting and things like that. I don't like that. Baldur's Gate 3 is something that I overlook all that. That's how good that game is. New Larian game is coming called Divinity. Yes. Finally, there is a game that I'm excited for.
An epic scale of Baldur's Gate 3. I'm there for it. Moving on to number 3, it's Ace Combat 8 Wings.
Hold up there. Why the fuck did he put 4th? What the hell, Gamer Ranks? You put Baldur's Gate 3 creators' new game, Divinity, which I've heard of it, is like probably like another version. There's other Divinity game in the past as well. You put that on 4th? It's a Larian game. What are you, high? This is like if Elder Scrolls 6 was like, oh, Elder Scrolls 6 was shown, and he puts that at 4th. Maybe it's not the same, but you get it.
of Thief. The last Ace Combat was
Ace Combat
released
is, yeah.
in 2019 and ported to Nintendo Switch in 2024, and it's Ace Combat's 30th anniversary. So what a better time
F-47 is
to
gonna be
announce
here?
Ace Combat 8? I can't imagine one. I mean, obviously it's a modernized version of Ace Combat 8. I don't feel like we know a whole lot about what is particular to this one other than its graphics are way, way better than any previous Ace Combat game. Wings of Thief is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC sometime in 2026. Moving on to number 2, it's Star Wars Galactic Racer. A big surprise reveal, honestly. It's kind of got Episode 1 Racer vibes. But
What was that game? Star Wars is like flying game. In space you just fly. I forgot, something like that, right? Like not proper Star Wars game. Yeah. It's not like Rogue. Rogue, was it the game? Awesome quadruple A game. It's not gonna be like that.
with a lot more vehicles and courses. Episode 1 Racer, very nostalgic, also did not live up to its potential at all. Fuse Games looks to establish the Galactic League, a unsanctioned galactic racing circuit. You're going to be racing through Jakku, weaving through wrecked Star Destroyers, bunch of other crazy looking stuff going on here. There's developers from Burnout, Need for Speed, and I really think that's going to be pretty big in terms of what the hell we get here. It's not just like a skin deep Star Wars race. This is real stuff, like in terms.
So Burnout with the Star Wars skin. That's what it is.
These are people that know how to make good racing games, so that's exciting. There's a 2026 launch window. You're going to see it on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. And finally, at number 1, it's Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic, a massive new single-player narrative.
Is it like KOTOR? Fate of the Old Republic. Are they trying to do KOTOR level? What? This is new KOTOR? What KOTOR? That one, right? The most beloved Star Wars game of all time. Both of them. There are 2 of them. Is this supposed to be something like that?
Narrative action RPG. This isn't just another Ubisoft style open world or a
It's
multiplayer
not like gonna be quadruple A. Rogue, that's the name, right? Like, yeah. Rogue, what is the name of that Star Wars game?
blaster. It's a story-driven journey back into the Old Republic era of the galaxy far, far away, developed by Argonaut Studios, obviously in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games. Fate of the Old Republic reunites Casey Hudson, veteran game director and mind behind Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and the Mass Effect trilogy, with the franchise that sort of made his name. Knights of the Old Republic is huge, and without...
Oh, look, what's what Starfield should have been. Watch this shit and watch Starfield when that robot and the NPC and all their walk. Jaggedy, like one-dimensional walk. Look at how fluidic they were walking. This person was walking.
that sort of made his
Look at that.
name.
It's a million miles of a difference.
Knights of the Old Republic is huge, and without it, he wouldn't have been able to make Mass Effect, and we all know what Mass Effect is. It is being marketed as a spiritual successor to Knights of the Old Republic, but
Ooh, yes.
it is definitely not a simple retread of old ideas. This looks like a big,
Look at the
potentially
gigantic shit right there. See, this is what I want from Star Wars. Mass Effect level storytelling. Star Wars is like a gigantic immersion. Like if a ship is crashed, it better look like a mountain because it's Star Wars. If suddenly Darth Vader appears, it better be like a god, where he moves mountain and just like have that like imposing aura to him. I want some shit like that. That's not easy to capture. You need a proper good developers to do that.
earth-shattering BioWare-style RPG modernized for what we want out of that now. I think that, in all seriousness, if you remember when Knights of the Old Republic came out, it was during the
I see water effects on her face, and I'm like, this game's gonna suck. I don't know why I feel that. I've always been a graphical guy. I care about graphics more than anything else. But I've been burned so much recently. I have a feeling this game's gonna suck just because of this. I just see the priorities, like where they're going with. Oh, look at how cool it looks. Probably gonna be some shitty thing. I hope it's not. I really want to play BioWare style, Mass Effect style Star Wars games. Because I remember playing KOTOR way back in the day, like it was a fucking... That game was the introduction to Star Wars for me. And then I watched movies. That's how much I loved that game. So I hope something good is from here.
height of the prequel backlash, and I'm just gonna be serious with you here. That is exactly what I hope happens here. Knights of the Old Republic sort of was like, oh wait, Star Wars can be awesome. Looking back, I liked the prequels a lot more than I liked them at first, but still, Knights of the Old Republic is legendary, and this looks like it could be as well. We have no release info yet on it, although I would expect it to come out on...
I liked prequels. Prequels were not an issue. I think people hated it because it wasn't like the original trilogy, which had this own aura to it. I don't know why I'm misusing that word too much, but it had a feel to it. Same thing of Mass Effect trilogy was completely different. Andromeda wasn't that bad. I liked the game. I played it twice, and I like the sandbox element of it, where you go planet to planet and like conquer things. Not conquer, liberate things. I like the gun mechanics and like, like how the combat and everything worked. Andromeda was fine. Obviously, it wasn't like the original trilogy. So, prequel of Star Wars got the similar treatment because people were hoping for the like epicness of the original one.
pretty much everything. This one's exciting. I do also have some bonus games for you. First, Resident Evil Requiem. This is, of course, Resident Evil 9. It is a major evolution, and yet it is also going back to Raccoon City.
Didn't they announce that last time? Last Game Award they announced this. I'm pretty sure Resident Evil, right? That Keighley guy announced it, so it must have been Game Awards. I don't know.
Now, a ruined post-outbreak wasteland with a big old crater from a big old bomb. It's interesting, they're actually tying everything back to Umbrella, and they're giving us a dual protagonist setup with Leon S. Kennedy and FBI agent Grace Ashcroft. I mean, if you want to see...
Well, like GTA 5? It's not gonna be like GTA 5. Just press a button and it changes the character now.
A game that looks like it's really banking on you knowing Raccoon City and feeling that classic Resident Evil vibe. It's this one, but also it looks bigger and sweeter and more awesome than it's ever been. This one's coming in February next year to PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC.
In 2
Next,
months,
it's
you mean?
Tank Rat, a vehicular action game that mixes the scrap metal insanity of what I want to say it kind of reminds me of Twisted Metal, but Twisted Metal was so long ago. And it's kind of the follow-up to another tank game. You got, obviously, these mech-like enemies, mechanics
I don't know.
on
like this
PC
shit.
and
I don't
PS5
care.
in spring
I'm not
2026.
that. When they changed Rage 2, people loved Rage 2. They hated Rage 1, the Bethesda game, Rage. I loved Rage 1 because of the atmosphere, the way our protagonist was walking, the way it was set up, the way cities were, and the way how everything was silent. It was like Mad Max style desert. I liked the atmosphere of Rage 1 so much that I loved that game. People for some reason hate it because they only were chasing like game mechanics and like, I just want to press button and like shoot things up like it's Borderlands or something. Of course it wasn't that. And then they gave Rage 2, which is like weird shooter type game where you just like collect checkpoints or whatever the fuck that is. I didn't care about that. This feels like that.
Next is Ontos, the new title from Frictional Games, the folks behind Soma and Amnesia, and it looks like a spiritual successor to Soma, but very much with its own identity. You play as Aditi Amani, a engineer exploring the eerie and abandoned Samsara Moon Hotel,
What the fuck did he just say? How is that a sentence? See, this is why I usually skip games like this because I don't resonate.
a engineer exploring the eerie and abandoned Samsara Moon Hotel, a repurposed facility built over the ruins of a failed lunar mining colony. Unsettling corridors abound. Looks like we're going to be very into the sci-fi mystery and psychological tension type stuff here. Frictional has not just waved a Soma flag and called it a day, though. Stylish combat and zombies. You're Davey, a down on his luck zombie living in a world where monsters are pretty much just everyday citizens. Your beloved human, right? Anyway, there's look like
I can't. Bonus is like or whatever. Divinity, all right. Divinity is something that I'm really looking for. Like there are some games that like that's fucking awesome. Star Wars, if it's like KOTOR, we have some good things in the future if that's the case. Yeah, so there's only 2 games I'm looking for essentially. Yeah, Control is one. So 3. But if it's Mass Effect but with Star Wars theme, KOTOR type game, that's awesome. And Divinity, Baldur's Gate 3 but modern version or something. You can just assume that. The lore and everything. Larians are awesome, right? Larians are usually insane games. They could have made Baldur's Gate, like another 4 because how much success 3 had. But they're like, no. That's like, what are we printing money here? We don't care. We go with what we want to do. I like that. Alright, well, if you like money, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.